everyone, Joshua Myers here, and welcome back to my 31 Days of Halloween Review series. And tonight I am going to be taking a look at In a Violent Nature from 2024.
Animals don't get too hung up on reason. They just keep killing.
In a Violent Nature stars Rye Barrett, Sharad Cregan, Liam Leone, as directed by Chris Nash. The plot of In a Violent Nature is that the enigmatic resurrection, rampage, and retribution of an undead monster in a remote wilderness unleashes an iconic new killer. Now, before going into this review, I would like to say is, again, yet another first time watch. I have not seen In a Violent Nature. I've heard about it, especially in the horror community, and it was getting a lot of, buzz and everything like that. So, and it was like a Shudder original and all that stuff. So, I finally decided that this year I will be covering In a Violent Nature, so... And I watched it just now. I just got done watching it. So here are my thoughts on the movie. I will say, okay, pauses. I like the look of the killer. The killer, Johnny. That's the killer's name, is Johnny. I like the look. It's at least a unique look. I will say there are some good shots visually in regards to, cinematography wise, and I also really dug the location. I love this location, this forest area. I don't know where they filmed it at, but I kind of would like to know for future, just for future reference, you know? Outside of that, I think those are my only positives. So let's move on to the, I guess we could move on. I think I got one thing I'm rather mixed on, so let's move on to my the things I'm mixed on. The concept. So, essentially the concept of this movie is, the gimmick of this movie is basically you're following the slasher, you're following Johnny, as he goes in to retrieve a necklace, that belongs to him, some dumb, young 20-somethings, went up and basically stole it from his grave, and then after they did that, he rose from the dead, and now he's on this journey to go and get his necklace back. And throughout the majority of the film, the whole gimmick of this film is, again, you follow the killer, not the in a traditional horror film would be the protagonist, especially a slasher movie like this. And no music whatsoever in this movie, and it's very much shot as if it's a horror, a slasher movie, but in real life, what would a slasher movie look like in real life? And interesting concept, but it is just, I'll just say it is such a bore. This, In a Violent Nature, more like in a boring nature. This movie is so boring. Even the kill, when it got to the kills, it's the practical effects are fine, I guess, especially for the low budget, but it's the kills, it's it's just kind of boring, yeah, it's gory, very gory, and some creative kills, but the way it's shot and everything, and some of the ways it's executed, it's just it's boring. I just throughout the movie I was just trying to stay up, although I will admit some of that could be on me, because at the time of watching it I was already kind of tired, so maybe that part of that was on me, and that's my fault. Maybe I shouldn't put on something In a Violent Nature, just as I was trying to, as I was starting to get drowsy, I probably should have not done that then. But yeah, so yeah, it's just a very boring uninteresting movie. I mean, again, concept is interesting. Execution and just the concept on like put into practice is just. Honestly, I don't have any real negatives outside of that where I'm like, oh, I freaking hate this movie or whatever. So let's move on to my rating. So with that said, I'm going to give In a Violent Nature a 2.5 out of 5 stars. The 2.5 out of 5 stars is because there's some good things in here. I like the look of the killer, Johnny. I mean, some of the practical effects are solid, you know? I like some of the shots, and I also like the location they used. But for the most part, it is just such a bore to get through this movie. You know, this is basically, and I've heard people say this, it's basically like a slasher film, it's like a ASMR slasher film. You know, those ASMR videos are meant to help you fall asleep and all that stuff, you know, like stuff like this, like, you know, like doing stuff like that, like, you know, that's meant to help you fall asleep. Basically, this movie is a horror, like a ASMR horror slasher movie. And I mean, if you're into that, whatever, you know, but for me, it was just not for me. So, would I recommend In a Violent Nature? It depends. It depends on what kind of person you are, but I would say for the most part, no. I would not recommend In a Violent Nature. There's a lot of other slasher movies out there that, in my opinion, are a lot more fun and just a lot better in general. So I would not personally recommend In a Violent Nature. If you want to go and seek this movie out, go right ahead. It's available on Shudder. So if you have a subscription to Shudder, it's also got a physical media release. So if you want to buy it on physical media, go right ahead. You do you, you know, and make up your own mind on this movie. But for me personally, I just didn't got the hype. This movie was hyped for me, and I'm just like, it's just not for me. So, yeah, definitely an overhyped movie in my opinion. So that's it for this review. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.